Welcome back, everybody, to LiliPod. I believe this is episode 5. Today we have Daniel with Peyya here. He's going to tell us more about what EMoney is, what we can do with it, and what's coming up in the future. We also have the great Axios, myself, Lord Gandhi here. I guess we'll just hop right into it. So, Daniel, could you just start off? What is Peyya? What do you guys want to do? And what's EMoney?
Yeah, thanks. First of all, thanks for having me. It's really cool to be in your pod. And Paya is the first payment provider for metaverse using regular money. When I say regular money, I'm talking about fiat e-money. And when it comes to e-money, we often get compared to stablecoins, and that's fair because it is quite similar to stablecoins. When you're on chain, you could say this e-money and stablecoin behave exactly the same. There's no difference. There's the same programmability. Stablecoins is pegged to a currency. E-money is that currency. So the use cases are quite the same as you would have with stablecoins. The bigger difference, though, is that e-money is provided from an e-money institute, which operates under an e-money license in the European e-money directive. And they are essentially prolonged arm, or whatever it's called in English, for central banks to issue e-money and make sure that they can be used by startups and companies like us, Paya. So what the big difference is there to stablecoins is that since e-money is regular money, I wouldn't say real money. Real money, stablecoins is real money as well, but e-money is regulated money, regulated by banks, which means that you're covered by all of the warranties and guarantees that any normal fiat money would have. And I would say that that is basically the biggest difference between e-money and stablecoins. So people often or often ask me why use e-money, and so my answer is basically why not? Since most people are at some point using stablecoins, because they want to have something to kind of peg their currency against, and they need to have a stable value to kind of compare cryptocurrencies against. So that's why stablecoins exist essentially, and e-money could be that instead. And yeah, back to you guys.
All right, awesome. That makes sense. It's so similar to stable coins, but you also have that regulated factor to it in the backing that you would have with your regular bank account. That makes, to me, I don't see why I wouldn't want to use it. It puts a little more trust in place, where places I honestly lately haven't had much trust there. People talking really badly about stable coins, particularly, or the newer ones coming out, because of the fact they're not regulated. They're drawing a lot of attention from governing bodies in general. So this might be the perfect bridge there.
And they sometimes they talk bad about stable coins for a good reason, but I mean, stable coins in its essence isn't a bad thing. It's more how the stable coins are set up and what kind of financial scheme you have or algorithms you have behind it. Like the stable coins that are working with an algorithm that can go straight to hell, that's of course not something that feels really assuring. So e-money can't go to hell. I mean, if euro falls or dollar falls, then e-money falls, because e-money is the same as the money that you have in your pocket. It's no difference. The only difference is that we have made it possible to use it on blockchain and to make payments over Ethereum networks.
Okay, so
just to
you
sorry,
you
real
talked
quick.
about the European the backed bank is from Europe, right?
Yeah.
So does that mean you pay only supports euros? Is the US dollar included? What all comes with it?
Yeah. Uh, it's the European Central Bank that has, since I think 2 decades almost, have e-money framework that are in place. It's just now, like recently, that technology has kind of catched up, so we can do something about it. But that doesn't essentially only cover euro. That's more of a framework around how to manage and issue e-money. So we can issue e-money today for euro, British pounds, and the US dollars. Also Icelandic krona, and soon we're going to have Swedish krona. So yeah, we can have any currency we want, basically, because the bank that is backing this from our e-money provider, all of the currencies that they have in their portfolio, we can use without any problem. So it's just a matter of it's a bit of a setup. It's not that costly, but I mean we need to have a market for it. So we're not going to spin up every single currency that are out in the world, because there's a few actually. Um, but I mean, and right now I guess our e-money provider doesn't really see that it is a great idea to go for yen, because China is already doing this. The government is already doing this. So, but US dollars, euro, and the great British pounds is something that we are starting working with right now.
Okay. No, I mean, that's a good spread for now. It's a good start.
Yeah,
I'm sure as we prove the use case for it, then there'll be more opportunities to support more currencies.
yeah.
Um, I
I,
mean, that sounds
I,
pretty
just,
really
I
exciting.
want to add to that. The only thing is that um, as of now, you get a European bank account, IBAN account, that is connected to the wallet. And that is so even if you're in the US, you're going to have a European bank account number, and that could be maybe an issue for kind of big corporations. I don't know. We haven't kind of got into that yet, but so that might be the only limitations right now. You could still trade in US dollars, but kind of the legal bank account number will be a European bank account number that is connected to your wallet. So
Okay.
when I get into that, which is really interesting, why we want to work with you guys. Um, the wallet in Paya is going to be like a normal bank account, you could say, at the same time as it is a crypto wallet, because you have a traditional bank account connected to the wallet. So you could actually make a payout to pay your bills from your MyLilies wallet, and you can buy an NFT from your MyLilies wallet for the same money. That's really cool.
Okay. So tell me a little more about that. Um, I have this bank account attached to my wallet, right? I know how to make a payment on Web3. I got my public keys, got my private keys, I got to sign the transaction. All good there. When I go and use Paya to make a payment for my electric bill, let's say,
Yep.
am I using is it a bank account number that I need to use, a routing and
You
account number? Do I use the,
you yeah
um,
you are the MyLilies wallet is get we connect a bank account number to the wallet. So it's not that you have a bank account in another bank. It's
mhm.
that MyLilies wallet becomes that bank account, you could say, in one sense, because you get a bank account number connected to it.
Okay.
So you are doing payments directly from MyLilies wallet. Of course, you're not going to be able to choose to pay your electrical bills with ETH, because the receiver is a actual traditional within the traditional core banking system, so they can only accept traditional currencies. but from the one same wallet, you could spend your eMoney euro or eMoney US dollars to pay your bills and buy NFTs. Same money, same wallet. And you could also receive payments. So you could actually have your MyLilius wallet as your salary account,
Interesting.
basically.
So taking that a step further, you fund the eMoney. I fund my eMoney account from my traditional bank account, right?
Yeah.
Um, does the same work? Does it work the opposite way? Can I convert my Ethereum into eMoney?
Yeah. So what I have to kind of clarify that question. So you're asking if someone else could or take the question once again.
Yeah. So I can turn my fiat into eMoney, right?
Yep.
Can I turn? Can I convert my Ethereum, my Bitcoin, whatever it may be, my crypto into eMoney as well? Is
Yeah.
there a swap
Yeah, for
mechanism
sure.
there?
That's where Europa Hub comes into play, for example,
Mhm.
or Ruby, for that matter. Uh, then you can make a swap or exchange just like with any other stablecoin or cryptocurrency, and you can get a payout in traditional fiat money back to your bank account. So I mean, people are for a scale essentially, especially are talking a lot about could Paya be kind of the next evolution in on off ramps, and the short answer to that is yes, of course, uh, because just like you could top up your pay account or my Lily's wallet with euro or dollar and spend it on blockchain, you could also, with the help of Europe Hub or Ruby or something similar, you could also swap for other cryptocurrencies. And in a sense, you have an on off ramp.
Yeah, awesome. So I mean, this all sounds good. What stage is Paya at, and when can I get my hands on it?
Well, we are like these go-to-market strategies. Uh, we are about to do a soft launch for developers. I think within a month from now, and that so we're gonna just kind of invite developers only because we want to kind of get this sparkling community that starts building cool shit with eMoney. So we're gonna start with inviting developers. Um, and That's going to be in a month from now. We are going to do a demonstration of Paya on ETH in Barcelona, where we are going to have a embedded payment system within an NFT, essentially. So what that NFT is going to be exactly, we are still kind of dribbling around with. Is it going to be an art show? Is it going to be a movie? Or is it going to be some kind of utility NFT? We don't know. What we know is that we're going to have embedded payment paywall within that NFT that is driven with Paya, or we're gonna build that on the hackathon. I would say together with the community down there.
Awesome. So we got to keep our eyes out on ETH Barcelona. You said, all right?
Yeah, yeah,
All right. Everybody heard that. Either book your flight, book your hotel now, or tune in if they have a live stream. Pay is going to be showcased at ETH Barcelona. And I'm sure all the developers are looking forward to being able to play with Pay in a month or so. You say, I know how this goes. It can sometimes be short, sometimes be much longer.
yeah.
So no problem there. I think that Sawyer had one question he wanted to get off. Um,
Just to add to before Sawyer,
oh,
just to add to this, the developer side of it. I mean, our public API is already done. So, but what we're working on now is a developer portal, which is going to be really kind of self-explanatory, where you could kind of click around in a mock-up app and at the same time see what APIs are shooting, so you can understand as a developer what's happening in the API when you're doing different actions in the app, demo app, for example. So that's what we're building now. So we could essentially invite developers right now. I mean, you guys and us, we're going to start working quite soon with this
yeah.
because the APIs are done. So
Awesome. So, I mean, you said we. What's tell us a little more about your team. Is it
Yeah,
just you? Who else is there?
yeah, we're 3-man team. So it's Peter Berison. He is basically our strategic officer, acting CEO right now. He has background from business analytics and business intelligence, and have been kind of in the crypto space for as long as crypto exists. And then it's me. I'm a product manager. That's my background. I've been working with a lot of enterprise e-commerce and information management systems for a decade or so. And our CTO has also worked a lot of with a lot of enterprise solutions. So he's basically a full stack developer focused on the JavaScript side of it. And happy to be learning a bit more about Dart and help me, Great Axios, what's it called? Uh, that you're building your app in.
Oh yeah,
Flutter.
Dart and Flutter. Yep.
Yeah. So it's us, and we are looking for anyone that hear this. We are looking for kind of late co-founders. If you join now, you're just as much as co-founder as we, just 15 minutes late to the party. And so we're looking for co-founders that are gonna have skin in the game, that don't come in and kind of require a salary straight out, but they will get equity, and we have kind of a good valuation of the company right now because we have turned down a couple of investment opportunities. So we know where we're evaluated at. And so we have a great deal for anyone that's going to jump aboard now. Back to
Yeah,
Great
awesome.
Axios. I want to hear your question.
Yeah, he just pinged in with it. Looks like he dropped off a bit.
Oh,
I'll see if I can get this out smoothly. It's a mouthful. So he says that so stablecoins backed by algorithm have a high risk. And e-money theoretically can alleviate these risk parameters. Um, he asks, will large on-chain liquidation impact the price from essentially backed value, similar to how stablecoins can be impacted by large liquidity withdrawals?
wow. Great question. Which I don't know if I really understand and if I'm the right person to answer. I think Peter should have been on board for this one. But my kind of a qualified guess would be no, because valuation there's I mean e-money doesn't have a valuation in that sense. E-money is money, so whatever euro is worth today according to World Bank, your e-money euro is going to be worth. So I can't see how it can be affected by any kind of liquidity or kind of what. Yeah, did I answer the question? Did I answer the
I,
question, or did I answer something else?
no, you answered the question. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He was just asking, will those large withdrawals or liquidity events impact the price? And I mean, from your explanation, it would make sense that it wouldn't,
No,
because
it
this,
wouldn't.
yeah,
I mean, we have this, which I think is kind of crap because we're not going to go into this too much because it's a kind of 3-day discussion. But all of this kind of liquidity hubs and stuff like that, in core banking, we call that float, which is essentially the sum of money that is kind of double accounted when because of delays in transactions and stuff like that. So I have this notion and I have a hope that together with you guys we can find another way to make transactions where liquidity hubs isn't maybe necessary because the limitations today is liquidity in all of these pools. I mean, if you want to do a payment in euro and you want and your the merchant or the creator they want to pay out in ETH, if there's not enough ETH in a liquidity pool to make that swap, the transaction is gonna default, right? And that goes for anything. If I want to make a payment in ETH and you want to have a payout in euro or e-dollar, if there's not enough e-euro or e-dollar on the liquidity pool, the transaction is going to default. But that's not unique for e-money. That's something that we have created in this blockchain space, which I think is completely insane because we're just imitating poor uh, poor architecture from core banking. So I hope we can get rid of that junk quite soon.
Yeah, Sam.
Sorry,
I've been
all of the
really
exchanges and liquidity hubs out there. I'm sorry for bitching on you, but but we're imitating a bad architecture from core banking, which is not good.
I think everybody can agree that we have a lot of room to mature in this space in general. So
Yeah,
they shouldn't be too upset about that.
cool.
Um, but yeah, that was our last questions. Do you have anything you want to share that we haven't touched on?
Uh, no. Well, yeah, maybe something about what Pay are building. I mean, essentially, we're not kind of the originators and creators and the issuers of eMoney. That's our eMoney Institute. I'm gonna go out open. Uh, you could see who our eMoney provider is if you look at addresses and stuff like that. So it's not a secret, but we're gonna have a public launch where we go out and publicly tell that we're official partners. So I'm gonna wait for that. But so what Payer is, we are the first one to actually. I mean, eMoney has been around for a couple of years now. We are the first ones to actually implement eMoney solutions in Web3 and Metaverse. We were like everyone else targeting kind of solving complex B2B buyer journeys, escrow on demand and stuff like that. But our CTO, which name is also Daniel, he was like, "Hey guys, why are we trying to solve yesterday's problem with tomorrow's technology? It's usually the other way around. This is not fun. This is boring. Couldn't we do? I mean, address the problems that people are facing in metaverse and Web3 instead." So we did. About 6 months ago, we did that pivot, and since then we have had a crazy traction. We are signing partnerships and going into partnerships with some of the bigger players, which is really cool. And so we're essentially trying to be the payment service provider. We're not doing anything new. We're doing what PayPal did 20 years ago. We're doing what Stripe did 10 years ago. But we're doing it for Web3 and we're doing it for Metaverse exclusively. And I think me and Google says that we are the only one that does it right now. So that's kind of cool, and that's what we are, and that's what we're aiming for. So we're essentially not trying to spread e-money around the world. That's not the thing here. We're issuing e-money so that our core products can work better than it would with stable coins, because we want to help the audience that aren't crypto natives. There's like 70% of global population that don't feel comfortable going into crypto right now. I guess after this bear market it's like 99%, but um, we're targeting that kind of gap of people that are looking at metaverse and looking at NFTs, but they aren't comfortable with using crypto. So we're not kind of trying to take over the crypto market. We're trying to be a complement for the crypto market for the audience that aren't using crypto. And
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, that makes complete sense. And I think that's why we'll be very good partners. Because that's our main goal as well, is try to kind of tear down those barriers and those hurdles for people that aren't already in this space.
yeah,
There's plenty of problems that we can tackle, plenty of just different innovation paths to go down. But the most pressing one is the one about adoption and how do we make it easier for
yeah,
everybody else.
and that's why we fell in love with MyLilius. I mean, we've been looking at basically all of the wallets out there, uh, but MyLilius is the only one that has kind of that focus on user experience and usability, to tear, like just like you say, tear down the walls and the barriers, and that's very much aligning with how we see Paya. Paya is for the ones that aren't crypto natives. It's for my mother if she want to buy a cool NFT of a cat or whatever. Yeah, create a better user experience, make mainstream adoption happen. That's what we're all about.
Awesome, man. We're getting started relatively early. It's still like the first quarter of this whole industry. So there's a lot of different things down the road. Maybe not even NFTs could be something that we haven't even thought of right now. Where e-money and Peyya just in general can be a good entry point or catalyst for that interaction.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about NFTs, we have a lot of discussion with enterprise companies around utility NFTs, and they haven't really kind of they understood the NFT technology. I mean, years ago. That's not the problem. The problem has always been how to monetize, how to because a lot of these companies, I mean, even Adidas or the bigger ones, I guess they have kind of play around money to use within crypto, but they're not gonna kind of put all of their business accounts in crypto. That's not gonna happen. But when we present an option to use regular money within NFTs, uh, some quite interesting discussions are starting to emerge on the enterprise side. So I think after this bear market, we're going to see much more kind of traditional enterprises going into this marketing using this technology to enhance their offerings that they have today.
Awesome. Lovely to hear your insight there. All right, looks like we're running a little bit over time, so
Yep.
we're going to wrap it here. I appreciate you getting on here with us. Can't wait to have that showcase at ETH Barcelona and show people what Peyya can do. So thank you once again, and that'll be all for this LiliPod.
Thank you for having me. Bye.